everybody, I just wanted to take a moment to encourage you to go back to the beginning of the video and use the speed feature to slow the video down and gradually work up to full speed. This amazing new feature works perfect with our animated fretboards. In fact, you might not even have to listen to me explain anything after slowing things down and using your eyes and ears. Hey everybody, Gary here with Pow Music, and that was me playing the intro to Wish You Were Here. I kind of wanted to keep going, but anyway, we're gonna go over the main intro rhythm guitar riff and also that awesome solo. Just like so many David Gilmour solos, this is a composed solo, so it's one that he worked on and took time on and came up with a final product. So it's not so much improvised, even though it still has that vibe. And that's what David Gilmour's great at, is it has that improvised solo vibe, but every note is so heavy and makes so much sense, and you could sing them. It's a solo that really sticks in your head. So we're gonna break it down chord by chord, riff by riff, phrase by phrase, see what's going on here on the fretboard. So if you want the tab and the song notes to follow along with the lesson or to learn it on your own, those are available on my Patreon page, and the link is right there below. Without further ado, let's jump right in. So what's great about this opening thing is that it mixes together a riff with chords. So here's your riff, but you got the chords in there. But there's a challenge there, and the challenge is to switch back and forth between the riff and the chords. So we're going to talk about how to do that. One thing that's really going to help you is these anchor fingers. You're going to use your third and your fourth finger on the third fret of the B and the E string, the first and the second string. They really just keep them tight together and anchor them down, and they're not going to move during this whole opening riff. Okay, our first chord is a G. Even though the chord progression itself doesn't begin with a G chord, there's a pickup, and a pickup is just notes that you play right before the downbeat of the song. So in this case, you're playing the notes of the G chord right before the chord progression starts. So check this out. 1, 2, 3, boom, ba da dum. 1. So that boom, ba da dum, that's the G chord, and that leads you into the first measure of the song. So this riff follows those lower two notes of the G. So we go third fret on the low E string, then open A string, hammering on to the second fret of the A string. So you're going to use your pointer finger like a hammer. So I'm only playing that A string once, I'm picking it once, and then hammering on. And then open D string. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Then that note signifies the next chord, which is an E minor 7. The full chord would be this shape. If you wanted to get really fancy, you could go. That's not what happens on the record, and that's just going to complicate things. So instead, and then we just strum the top 4 strings like a D chord or something, and that note is the second fret of the D string. Now with the strumming, don't get hung up on doing any exact pattern, keep it loose. The most important thing is just that you get back to the riff with good time and you hit all the right notes. So it really doesn't matter. So even if you have to do it really simple like this, that's fine too. So anyway, from there, then we go. And that is second fret on the D string, then open G string, then back to the second fret on the D string, and then open D string. So again, So second fret on the D, open G, second fret on the D, open D. And then full G chord with those anchor fingers. So putting it all together so far. Then the G. Same thing. Again for the third time, but now we got something different for the second half. Very simple, and that is from that note on the second fret of the D string, we're going to go second fret on the D, open D, second fret on the A, open A, and then the next chord is an A sus 4, A sus4 chord. And the way that works is these first two fingers are going to act like they're just playing an A, and the second two, remember, they're our anchors so they don't move. So just think of these two going for that A chord, and there's your A chord. So putting together that second half, so the third time we go bum, 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 bum. Then, instead of going, now we just go. So it's like it's abbreviated, it's shortened. So that's open A, hammer onto the second fret, open D, and then we're at our E minor 7 chord again. And then back to our A chord. Now we're almost done, the last thing. And that's open, hammer on the A string on the second fret. Do-dee-do. Then open again. And the G. And that's the end of the intro. Or you do it again, and the solo comes in. So what I did here is I just looped it. I looped the intro and then I played the solo. So putting it all together, starting with the G. Now we're at the E7, E minor 7. And back to the G. G going to the E. Down to the A, back to the E, and back to the A, and then we end on a G. Yeah. All right, now the solo. So we're in the key of G, so it's mostly G major pentatonic. And here's the House of Blues. We're going to be in there a bunch. All right, so here we go. We're going to start with the slide from the second fret to the fourth fret. It's like a slow slide. You could even do this hammer on. Up to you. It's the same thing, but we slide from 2 to 4. And right in the House of Blues, we're going to start. So then I like to slide with my second finger, then first finger on the third fret of the B string, then fifth fret. So here I'm just outlining the roof of the House of Blues. So that note is fourth fret on the G string. Then we do this cool pull off. 4-2 open, open, 4-2 open on the G, open on the D. Then we hammer 0 to 2 on the A, quick hammer. Then open D. Putting it all together. Then we've got, again, the House of Blues. We're going to do some double stops here, and we're going to slide into them and slide out. Then the roof of the House of Blues, and slide that down. So here we got 5-5, 3-3. And then we've got 5-4, 5-4, and then 3-2. And again, slide in, slide out. Then open G string. And then again there. So dun, 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 dun. And then slide that same one up. So open G, and then slide back up, then back down, and then we finish it off here. It's a tricky transition, but that's 5th fret on the D string, 4th fret on the G string. Do a little slide into there. And do whichever finger is most comfortable here. It might be first, because then you could... So here you just got to reverse that finger from here. Cool. Then the next phrase starts it the same way. So, same thing. It's a little different. So the first thing was, but now we're going. So sliding up to the 4th on the G, 3rd on the B, back to that 4th on the G, then to the 5th on the B. Now we do it's like a whole step bend. Depending on what gauge strings you have, this might be easy or not. There's a bend coming up that really requires lighter strings than what I've got on here. I think these are 12s, would be much easier with 10s, but anyway. So here it is again. So bending that 5th fret on the B, back to the 4th on the G, then to the 3rd on the B. Then we come down to the 2nd fret on the G. And if you can give it some vibrato, again with these heavy strings, hard to give vibrato with the first finger here, so I'm using my 2nd or 3rd. And then so then you're going to go back to the roof of the House of Blues, 4th fret on the G string. Bend it as much as you can. With a wound G string with 12s, you're not going to get much of a bend. So depends on what guitar you're using, but we're going to bend this 4th fret on the G. Then back to those, the 3rd and the 5th fret on the B. then bend that one again, that fourth on the G, and then back to that second. Then he does almost the exact same thing. So there we go. Full bend, but now we go. We bring it down. Then to the third, back to the fifth. And here's the last thing. We bend that fourth fret again. And then open G string. And then into the G chord. So taking it from so then the second half we got Alright, so now I don't want to play exactly what David Gilmour played. I want to make it my own. So the first thing I'm going to do is play the solo as written, but change little things about it. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to change some little things about it, and see if you could take notice to how I'm doing that. And then I want you to try the same thing. So here we go. You can do it with just one phrase at a time. I can just think about the first phrase. And just play with that one for a few minutes. So that was a little different. Then, with the slides, here's the original. Maybe we'll do. Just a little different. So that's just an example using a couple phrases. Every time you learn a solo or a new song, I recommend that you take the ideas you learn and try to make something with it. So this solo has so many great ideas for you to play with, and especially on acoustic guitar and all in that comfortable position, frets 1 through 5, which is really awesome. And again, if you want the tabs or the song notes, those are exclusive rewards to anyone who is a patron on my Patreon page, and the link to that is available below. Anyway, thanks for spending some time with me today. I hope it was fun. Keep playing, enjoy yourself, and I'll see you soon.